Ladies and gentlemen, summoners and other summoners, and IPL 5 Caster Search judges, welcome to IPL 4, lol, not really, hold on, there's my screen transition. Hey, welcome to the game part of my audition for the IPL 5 Caster Search. My name is EdwinMols. I'm back today with that game portion. Why do I say I'm back? Well, actually, because this is May 2nd, 2012. I'm running dangerously close to the deadline for this thing, because yesterday, May 1st, I recorded the picks bans portion, and then I went along to do the replay for the actual game and discovered that I was missing the 1.0.0.136 version of League of Legends.exe, so I could not actually run the replay, and I was freaking out, I was panicking, running around the internet like a nerd with its head cut off, and I finally found a download that some gracious person had put online in the League Replays forums with that version. So yes, I can finally run the replay. I have not cheated. I have not looked at it, not even once. So I have no idea what's going on. I'm really excited to cast this for you as part of my audition, my mock audition for the IPL 5 Caster Search. All right, here we go. Jumping right in. I will load that up. Excuse me. And boom, we're going. All right, here we go. Awesome. And oh, it's Monomaniac and Dignitas again. Awesome. So this will be IPL 4 once more. Now, the picks and bans I did yesterday were from IPL 4 between Monomaniac and Dignitas. And it was one of their games in their series. I actually can't remember which one, and I can't remember which one this is either, but I have the feeling that it was earlier in their series, because we do see a lot of the champions here that were banned in the picks bans that we looked at yesterday, such as Ryze and Kog'Maw. So that, I think, would be an indication of where we are in the series. We're actually popping right in the game. I don't have much time to talk. We will be casting this replay, it looks like, from the perspective of Monomaniac Nintendo X, just by the name of the replay. And it looks like they'll be on blue team. Dignitas will be on purple team due to the nature of casting from recordings of individual players. We'll not be able to see the vision of purple team, anything of Dignitas' team, and in fact, we'll only be able to see the health bars at any one time of what Nintendo X is currently attending to. So if his screen is currently looking at his team, as it is right now, we can see all their health bars, but you see, he's not looking at Pixel right now, so we actually can't see Pixel's health or mana bars. And actually, good thing I looked at them right then, because Pixel did lay down a ward to protect that entrance to the jungle. Actually, whoa, Scar getting caught out. Spartan will queue over the wall, putting Scar at about half health. Probably will have to back to regen that pretty quickly. It is important to note that Monomaniac, unlike Dignitas in this, I was looking at summoner spells during loading up. They have a Clairvoyance on their support champion, and the support champion for Dignitas over here, Locust, is running Exhaust Heal, so no Clairvoyance for Dignitas will really give the level 1 engagement advantage to Monomaniac. As we can see right here, they actually have very little fear. By having that Clairvoyance, they can have an instant way of checking on Dignitas, and they will pop it right there to see I will dominate, ready to start at those wolves in his jungle. And it looks like Monomaniac will then kind of take the next natural step and look to either steal golems or wraiths, most likely wraiths, and then move on to red and go ahead and steal that. Now, Mundo is a very strong, very fast counter jungler, so they must be aware at this point that Mundo could easily take his blue after wolves and then move down to steal red. Actually, whoa, this ward proving to be very useful here for Monomaniac, as they will start ahead, go ahead and get those wraiths, but they will actually see that Locust has warded this area of Monomaniac's jungle, so they have an idea of exactly what Dignitas wants to pull off in this early game. They know that they want to make a play into the bottom jungle, to most definitely steal that red with Mundo. Meanwhile, Nintendo X and Zion Spartan would go to work on that red. Zion Spartan giving him a very good leash. Nintendo X coming out of there with practically full HP. He's got the red buff. He will not leave, actually, that second minion, so that will be respawning in 5 minutes. And you will see, actually, he'll type out the timer there. 2:09 was when it went down, and 7:09 is when it will respawn. Now, the lane matchups here, we got Paradoxical on the Morgana and Skara on the Ryze. Actually, we're having pings down in the bottom jungle by one member of, oh, wow, actually, bottom. Pixel's coming up. Here's Zig. They're definitely talking about something, communicating. And yes, they will get eyes on Dominate. He is trying to steal red. Wow, really early in the match. He will get the double buffs. He's coming up. Here's Paradoxical eating a cleaver, but he's getting chased down by Ziggs with the shield. Pixel right behind. Coming down, this is Nintendo's, the exhaust will go down in Ziggs, and Mundo does not have flash. Nintendo X coming in, there's Ziggs actually flashing over the wall, a little unnecessary, as the red buff tag from Nintendo X did to go down, and the double buffs going, as well as first blood to Monomaniac's Pixel on support. This would be considered, I would say that a lot of players would consider this unideal for your support champion to get the 400 gold from the first blood as well as the double buffs, and to a certain extent that is true. You want that gold to be on champions that need it more like the solo laners or the jungler. But the buffs are definitely going to help spam those shields in lane, give Zig a huge advantage, and the red buff will help Pixel's auto attacks be much more effective in the harass that goes back and forth between these 4 ranged champions in bot lane. I need to get back to the lane matchups here. We have Zion Spartan up here and top on that Lee Sin versus Void Boys, Vladimir in top lane. So we do have a double AP coming out of Dignitas. We have Rise here in mid for Skara against Paradoxical's Morgana, and this should be a pretty farm fest focused matchup, I would say, between Morgana and Rise. Morgana, a notoriously hard champion to push out of lane. Actually, here we see Nintendo Dex will be taking the first blue, not donating it to Paradoxical, even though he was given a red from the opponent's jungle. That's kind of an interesting choice, and Morgana already choosing to back. We'll come back in lane with boots and a Doran's ring, so a solid start for Morgana, but going to lose a little bit of farm time and experience time against Skara, going to be a little bit underleveled there. This should be, as I said before, kind of a farm-central game. I mean, Rise has a lot of early game damage, but he likes to get an early tier, an early catalyst like that, and really build up his damage over time, farming lots and lots of minions and spamming his abilities. Meanwhile, in bot lane, both of these champions are really, really good late-game champions. Of course, Ashe having the tremendous benefit of her Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so in those team fights near the end of the game, that's a huge CC and huge important factor of those games. But Kog'Maw, one of the hardest scaling champions in the game, probably next to Vayne, doing just tremendous amounts of damage in the late game, scaling very well with attack speed. And Janna, of course, the quote-unquote OP support champ, just has so many ways to peel for Kog'Maw with her Tornado Zephyr and her ultimate. We actually see Nintendo X is actually in top right now. Void Boy, don't know if he knows. Oh, there's the eyes on him. The axe will mix. Nintendo X will just go ahead and right back immediately. Keep Void Boy guessing as to whether or not he's still in there. No, he's not. He's actually going to stay up here in top lane, throw another axe. Oh, here's actually Morgana Paradox who did come up. The pool will make sure that that does not prove successful for Monomaniac, but Paradoxical with a nice move there coming up to top. I'm a little afraid though. I don't want to leave Skara too alone here on Rise. Like you just don't want to let him get off to just too perfect of a start as that Rise. And we will see finally get eyes again on I Will Dominate, who's significantly far behind in the jungle right now. The Clairvoyance did go down from Pixel and spotting him in the jungle. I shouldn't say significantly. He's actually the same level as Nintendo Dex at this point. But Nintendo Dex has been able to back, I think, with more gold, and he's definitely has superior items right now. We see Mundo's only got those Ninja Tabi, whereas we see a Vamp Scepter and a Cloth Armor and Boots for Nintendo Dex. That being said, Mundo doesn't really need much to jungle, so I would say that I Will Dominate's doing a good job of coming back after that, giving away that first blood and the double buffs in the beginning part of the game. But that actually is really significant. I don't want to gloss over that fact. Like giving away double buffs, even to just your the enemy support champion, is a huge deal early in the game, and it definitely. Although it's not spectator mode and I can't compare the gold values for these players or for these teams, I would definitely say that. Oh, sorry. Let me shut up. Nintendo X is going in. Locust is getting very low. The axe will go off. The self-heal doing a lot of damage. Actually, Nintendo X picking up the kill with reckless swing there. And actually, lots of pings going off on Dragon right now. It's only 6 minutes and 20 seconds into the game. Do they feel comfortable enough to go for Dragon? Nintendo X is coming up. They do have it warded, but looks like they just wanted to get vision on that, not actually go for it. But that's, yeah, wow, big boon for Monomaniac. They're up 2 kills. They had the first blood, they had the early double buffs, and now they have their jungler with the kill as well under his belt. Even if it's just against the support champion for Dignitas, that's a really huge deal. And actually, what's important to point out as well is Locust was actually killed early enough in the game that he will not have the gold to back and buy both a Philosopher's Stone and Boots. That timing is a little bit later in the game, so he's going to be forced to make the decision of whether or not he gets an early GP10 or he gets an early Boots, and that's going to be really significant. I Will Dominate while getting caught way out in the jungle. Paradoxical with a great blind snare coming out of Morgana, and Nintendo X picking up the second. Oh, I'm sorry, that kill did go to Paradoxical, not Nintendo Dex. But 3-0 right now. Things are looking very good for Monomaniac. They were the underdogs in this tournament. They were the 8th seed versus Dignitas' 1st seed, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in those YouTube comments, but they're going on at 7 minutes and 20 seconds for the Dragon. And this is, oh man, this could just not be better right now. They're actually though, and Nintendo X is getting fairly low. Pixel has a lot of mana, will shoot him there, but it's getting pretty low. He will need to make sure he's pretty safe. Here's Zig coming up to support him. Actually, Zig is not backed yet once this game. And, oh, meanwhile, look at Zion Spartan pulling a little page out of M5's book. I just remember, just whenever I see a top laner going and stealing golems away from the purple side, I'm reminded of the Shyvana play from M5. Not that they're the only ones who do it, but here's Zion Spartan so aggressive against Void Boy, and the ping against Blue right now for Dignitas. I don't think Monomaniacs can actually do anything about it. The timer will be typed out by Pixel there, 13:42 on the Dragon. So if you're one of those that likes to type in game, well, don't worry. You know, top level pros who are playing in big tournaments will still just type out their timers there. 1308 blue. It's a good way to do it. Good way to keep track of what things are happening with the global buffs on the map at what times. Excuse me. We do have the farm actually laying out pretty even right now between the two teams. Honestly, the farm for the junglers is exactly the same right now. Although we don't have eyes on Mundo, so we can't exactly tell. But for all of Paradoxical's roaming, it's definitely given him a huge advantage in terms of kills and helped his team out a lot. But actually, Scar has had a lot of time to just farm up in that lane. We will see he's at almost the highest farm in the game at 56. Now he's at the highest, 64. He has an early catalyst. He's going to be really, really hard to stop rolling right now. So Scar is definitely something that Dignitas would be banking on at this point. Actually, whoa, here's I Will Dominate. In the bottom jungle, they do have eyes on him there with that ward in the brush, and they actually did not manage. Oh, with a nice cleaver over the wall, we'll pick up that big Wraith, and that's a huge part of the Wraith camp, actually. The little Wraiths are worth very, very small amounts of gold compared to the big Wraith. So that's definitely a nice pickup. Nintendo X not moving towards the red yet. I would think that he would want to do that now, knowing that I Will Dominate is around, and then he might try to steal that. They don't actually have eyes on it. But again, we may see that I Will Dominate a little bit reluctant to jump into the jungle again, considering the failure of the level 1 giving up first blood. And indeed, we see I Will Dominate with the CV, did just back and get his own red, did not feel confident enough to go for that steal, especially knowing that bot lane for Monomaniac was just coming back in with the triple Dorans for Zig. Wow. Very defensive start. This was before the Dorans nerf, excuse me. Actually, I was confused because the tooltip is saying that's 80 health. It should be 100 health at the time of this game being played. I'm not going to investigate the math on that, but anyway, it was before the nerf, and 3 Dorans was a very, very safe way for an 80 to start. Whoa, by the way, big dive going on top. Sorry about that. And a nice arrow, actually, and Zion Spartan taking him very low. Oh, with a great shield in Nintendo X, and the two of them will waltz away with low health, but in practically no danger. After securing a kill on Boy on the tower, and you know how hard it is to dive a Vladimir on his tower. So that's a really big deal. Vladimir's actually farm is only at 65 right now versus Zion Spartan 61 with an assist now. They're doing very well. Locust getting very low on the tower. Zig going and pushing him down. Overall, the warding is very, I want to say minimalistic from maybe that's not a good way to put it, but look, Monomaniac doesn't have that many wards, but they're in really, really good positions, is what I'm trying to say. They don't have that many, but they're in places that are going to alert for Mundo entering the jungle and trying to get red. This Tribush is a great place to ward. Of course, Dragon, as Pixel is demonstrating right now, and this entrance to the upper jungle of Dignitas are great places to ward, so Monomaniac definitely doing a good job in that regard without just spamming wards and losing them willy-nilly, which is a good thing. We see there's a pink ward on Locust. He's had that one all game, I think. He's just waiting to use that. Oh, she's been buying multiple pink wards. I take that back and using them to good effect in the brush, which will allow Pixel and Zig to maintain their brush control in bot lane, which is a huge factor in how these bot lane fights work out. Actually, I would like to note that despite we have actually I'm a cutie pie doing the triple Dorans as well, and managing to stay up in farm, despite the fact that I think Janakog is a really, really strong combo, much stronger than Ash Soraka, but I'm not really here to do in-depth analyzing, more just to do casting, so that's what's going on right now. Actually, who here is Nintendo Dex? Ooh, lol. Coming in with the red buff, they know that there's no ward in here, and this is a brilliant use of the pink ward. Nintendo X knows that I'm a cutie pie and Locust has no eyes on them right now. Ooh, but meanwhile, here's Skara coming down, maybe for a gank. Paradoxical wants to make something happen. There's a CV. They do have eyes on him. They have ascertained that he will not be coming down bottom. They're just waiting to push those minions for Nintendo X to come in, being very patient, and then he will immediately move up as the vision will be denied from Dignitas, and here's going to be a big gank on bottom in a sec here. I would like to point out, though, before I forget to, that there is a tier and a catalyst at 12 minutes for Skara, so Skara's farming very well, doing very good in that regard. Nobody yet to hit 100, but Skara's going to hit 100 minions any second now. Here's Nintendo X coming up. He's just gonna throw an axe. Cool. The Broloff, leaving an axe and running away like a bro. Except he has infinite axes, it's no problem, he'll just leave that there. It'll sink into the ground and he'll still have multiple more to pull out of his Abercrombie and Fitch jeans there. No problem whatsoever, and Skara has now hit 100 minions, first one in the game to do so. I would love to check on his gold right now, but alas, it is not spectator mode, I cannot do that. But I am digging the new spectator mode. I cannot wait to cast some games in that. It's really, really, really awesome. We'll see Void Boy actually. Whoa, here's Paradoxical coming back up again with the Morgana. The snare will go off on the tower as well, but Void Boy will actually dodge all of that damage, no problem. He does have the Hextech Revolver, so able to heal himself, have a stronger lane presence against Zion Spartan. But Zion Spartan, actually, I will point out the double Null Magic Mantle. One almost sure for the Mercury Treads, so we're going to see him buy pretty soon, and the other one almost sure for a Hex Drinker to come pretty soon. So Zion Spartan with plenty of MR, 110, having no problem at all versus his Vladimir in top lane. Oh, and the brilliant Clairvoyance, great timer for the Dignitas blue, and it looks like Dignitas is moving up to protect that blue. So far, Paradoxical is the only member of Monomaniac nearby, only one that can actually try to make anything happen. Blue's getting very low already. Are they going to try to steal it? Here's Nintendo Dex. He's coming up. Oh! Oh, with the snare! Wait. Am I really bad as a caster? Did he already have blue? No, he just got blue. Wow, wow. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. I was gonna say, wow, what amazing steal, and then he already had it. But, you know, alas. And actually, here's perfect timing, because we'll see that Zion Spartan is elected to come down bottom. Now, we do see Void Boy is nearby, so we could have a 5-5 engagement. Monomaniac, no fear, they are ahead in gold. They're going to immediately start on that dragon. It's going down so quickly. Oh, Zion Spartan trying to zone out the enemy team, and Dignitas will barely even contest this. Here's Pixel landing a tornado. Can they go in on Cutify? Oh, with a brilliant Zion Spartan, a Sonic Wave. Or Resonating Strike, or Sonic Wave and Resonating Strike. Yes, I was right the first time. And we'll pick up the kill. Actually, the kill will go to Ziggs, but that really sealed the deal. And wow, Monomaniac looking in a great place right now. They have, how many kills total? They have 5 kills to 0 kills. Very ahead in the gold. The Dragon going down. Interestingly, Monomaniac did not put the timer down for Dragon. So they're so focused on this game. And they're so, oh my god, forget what I'm talking about. Look, they're diving well past the tower here in bot lane. Alright, I'll go back to what I was talking about. It's actually pretty cool. So they neglected to even write down the timer. So even pros will forget to write down timers. But at this point, I'm pretty sure they're figuring, wow, we're really far ahead. We're going to have control of over the dragon next time it spawns. And we have a general idea of when it's going to be up. So we'll just be able to get that without having to worry about it getting contested. So far, a pretty one-sided game coming out of Monomaniac. I would like to point out, I did not see this game at IPL 4 because I was actually at PAX East for the weekend of April 6th to the 8th in Boston, Massachusetts. So I was enjoying that wonderful game convention and was not actually able to see this stuff live. I was able to see some VODs, but this game I missed out on. So this is a pleasure for me to be able to see this and cast this game now. Monomaniac really making a great showing in this tournament, certainly, and I know they did place 4th at the end of the tournament, which is, well, it's really awesome. It's really badass. I told myself I was going to be on my best behavior for this cast and try not to swear at all, but it really is. So I have to say it. Anyway, looking at the itemization coming out of these players, of course, I cannot really get a nice, steady update on Dignitas, but I will point out that the Hex Drinker and the Merc Treads were finished for Zion Spartan, so Zion Spartan's going to have, like, the easiest lane in the world right now against Vladimir on Void Boy, or Void Boy and Vladimir there in top. We had the Wriggles pickup as well as the Heart of Gold. Very, very solid start for any melee 80 jungler like Nocturne or Olaf for Nintendo Dex there. We do have the Triple Durines going into a pickaxe here for Zig, and that's pretty interesting. We've seen, again, not to keep quoting M5, so to speak, but the Triple Durines Wriggles was a very safe build that M5 started doing in big tournaments. Excuse me. But here we have the Triple Durines just Infinity Edge coming out of Ziggs, looks like, which is pretty aggressive, actually, considering how defensive it started out. We have Pixel doing good. He's got the TP 10 on that Philosopher's Stone. Not quite the Heart of Gold yet, but I'm sure he has the gold in the bank to do it with that first blood under his belt. Doing pretty good there. We actually have no oracles yet in the game, and that's really important to note. I really hope that I'm not wrong about that. I hope that I Will Dominate does not have an oracles. Whoa, here's Nintendo Dex coming in. He will pop the L, so he does not get snared. Scar taking a lot of damage on the tower. Oh, the kick out. The Ignite, he needs some way to finish off Skara. Actually getting snared onto the tower. The Ignite will pick up the kill on Skara, though, and here's Paradox coming in for the ult. Meanwhile, I Will Dominate will get the kill, though, on Zion Spartan. Actually, a 2-for-1 in favor of Dignitas. It's actually a pretty good play by Dignitas. Very, very, very aggressive. Diving past 2 towers there by Monomaniac, and I think pushing their lead just a little bit too hard and slipping up there. I Will Dominate coming at the perfect time to save Skara. Well, not save him, but come in to avenge Skara. Which is good timing. I actually just saw the Avengers last night because I have a friend who is an employee at a theater, and I got to see the employee early showing, and man, it is good. It is really, really awesome. I'm a huge fan of Joss Whedon from the things of Firefly and the like, and he did a brilliant job with Avengers, so go see it when it comes out. But tangent over, back to the game. They did avenge that death, and actually 6-2 right now, so Dignitas has a chance to pull it out. Both kills did go to I Will Dominate, so he suddenly got a little like burst of gold there, and we actually see he is ahead in farm of Olaf, despite Olaf's kills. So Olaf will still have more gold. Actually, at this point, they're probably even on gold, considering he has more. The extra CS will be caught up by the extra assists of Olaf. But Munna's a really, really fast jungler, so he's always going to be getting that jungle CS faster than Olaf, as well as the fact that Nintendo X has spent a lot of time ganking this game, to good effect, I should say. But I Will Dominate has just been catching up mostly from the first blood in the beginning of the game. We're now at 18 minutes, so this is about the time. Excuse me, about the time that we're going to start to see big items start to finish up these champions. We're not quite to an Infinity Edge yet for Zig, but at 102 and 150 CS by 18 minutes, he's looking very nice. He's going to have the Infinity Edge very soon. We do have Morgana at 146, working towards that death cap. We'll have that relatively soon as well. And, ooh, here's a red buff Kog'Maw making a way around the back of the tower. Oh, I'm sorry, the tower is down. There's the CV. Looked like they want to be aggressive on the bot lane. I would love to see if Locust... No, he's just warding now, so he did not have vision of that before. He may have had a river ward to alert them of that. A great blue steal. Paradoxical picking up the blue from Dignitas, and that's going to really give Skara a hard time, because that Ryze loves to have that blue buff and use that spammy mana regen ability. This was before the blue buff nerf as well, so his mana regen would be off the charts and would be able to get that Tear of the Goddess up very, very, very quickly. Actually, I would like to point out Zion Spartan not having quite the easiest time that I was saying before. Voyboy now does have the Will of the Ancients, and he also has a cloth armor, just to kind of give him a little bit more sustain in this matchup and prevent some damage from Zion Spartan. He's actually doing a pretty good job against Lee Sin now. The farm is definitely... Actually, it's really good for Vladimir. Wow, what a great arrow going down to Paradoxical, but will actually black shield it. Pretty good ult from Paradoxical. We get 2 targets. He will flash out a nice ult from Pixel, pushing them away. Kog'Maw laying down some long-range harass. Scar's actually down to half health. And a nice, I wouldn't say clean kill off of I Am a Cutie Pie for Monomaniac, but they did muscle it through. They made it happen, even with that arrow going down. Paradoxical having to use his flash. But, you know, if it gets done, it gets done. Actually, Paradoxical, so brave. He eats a cleaver. Wow, he's so low. He's got the double shields right now. His black shield and the wind shield from Janna right now. We're very, very scared of dying at this point. And it looks like they're ready for the dragon, but as I noted earlier, they did not... Oh, they did. Well, 1950, so they were late by about 20 seconds, but they did get the timer eventually. And actually, whoa, this is a 4-man engage. Zion Spartan is top. We don't have eyes on Voyboy. He could be coming down. So far, it's 4v3. We do have, of course, I'm a Cutie Pie down. Going to be coming back relatively soon. Looks like they don't want to fight. And that is definitely a good decision from Monomaniac. I think Dignitas might have been able to press that a little bit harder, but I can understand their reasoning, not wanting to go too hard. Obviously, Monomaniac has towers to run to very quickly, and Dignitas does not. Their mid and bot are already down, and I mean, being up 2-0 towers is really important for the gold lead of your team, certainly. But just the fact that you have something to run to very quickly is kind of a huge boon as well. So. You know, Monomaniac has such a great map position because they can easily make their way to any of these towers at any point, whereas Dignitas has a lot more ground to cover. We will see that right now, Amakupai is doing what he can to try to catch up in the farm. He's not necessarily freezing the lane, but he's not pushing the lane either. He's just farming as much as he can out of this lane before he's forced to be in a position where he's not comfortable. Actually, I take that back. He's auto-attack. He's actually pushing this lane using volley and auto-attacks. So it looks like he wants to get this lane. He wants to draw Zig away from the rest of the team, force Zig to be in a position where he has to farm bottom, while the rest of the team moves around and might be able to get picks off of members of Monomaniac. There's another blue going to Paradoxical. Paradoxical having so many blues this game, like blues all the year round. And that's really going to help out the Morgana, who's already got a death cap now. We do have the Glacial Shroud, the core, so to speak, for Skara of the pre-nerf, or I wouldn't say pre-nerf, the pre-change Rise, which would be the Catalyst Tear of the Goddess and the Glacial Shroud. Looking for a steal up here. Here's Paradoxical and Pixel. Pixel with the first oracles of the game, going to be really important here, clearing out some wards. We have seen warding being very good from Monomaniac. I'm sure it's just as good from Dignitas. I just can't tell, unfortunately. And here's Zig picking up the Golem. So far, teams are kind of spread. They're doing this careful dance of when do we group up and when do we... Oh, forget what I'm saying. Voidboy's getting really low. He's going to go down. Boom! There's the kill going down to Paradoxical. Pixel getting very though. Oh, actually Scar getting kicked away. Oh, wow, with the black shield just in time to block that Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and here's Nintendo X. He's coming to clean up. He will pop his ult. He cannot be disabled. Locust is going to be focused down, taking a lot of damage. Pop! There goes the Weasel. And here's I'm a Cutie Kai coming in behind. I will dominate getting very low. Zig coming in from behind. Man, Mono Dignitas is cleaning this up. Zion Spartan doesn't want to give up the kill at this point, but oh, what a beautiful... He will go down, but he could not resist. He could not resist that resonating strike. He had to lay that one out. And this is how me and my friends will always envision a Lee Sin and a Lee Sin player, is when he hits that sonic wave, it's not his choice. His foot actually is the one that decides that he must follow it up with the resonating strike. Like, he has to go for it. So it's actually like, it's not his will. Oh, Scar getting caught out by a brilliant snare with a great ward. I mean, he just walked right into that one. I don't even know what to tell you. And they're going to go for a pickup on Dragon. Now, actually, they're pretty low. Paradisical will go ahead and tank that thanks to the Janus shield. Nintendo X needs to use that Wriggles to get a little bit higher before they can switch the tanking. Ooh, Paradisical taking a lot of damage. We'll use the Black Shield. And here's Baron going down very quickly, I would say. And Void Boy, I'm sure, knows what's going on, but just has no ability to stop it. Although they are nice and low, looking pretty squishy. Definitely would be tempting for a nice Vladimir ult and all four of those, followed up by a good Tides of Blood to get the kills. But wisely, I think he will not try to do that. Will not probably pay off for him. The itemization is looking really good. We do have Lee Sin finishing the this item, which I love, Maw of Malmortius. I will still have to remember how to say it and how to pronounce it. But he's going to be doing a lot of damage and ignoring a lot of the damage of the double AP build that we have for Dignitas, the Vladimir and the Rise. So that's a really, really smart itemization. We have the Infinity Edge Zeal. Man, Kog'Maw is ready to go. He's got the items. He's 203. Zig is going to be ripping up these team fights here. He's got the red buff, the Baron buff. Going to be doing so much damage coming up here. We have the Death Cap as well as the Blasting Wand. Oh, and actually, Negatron Cloak. So Paradoxical going for an Abyssal Scepter, which I like. An enormous deal against the double AP. Why not give yourself some extra MR while at the same time reducing the MR of your opponents? So that's really a good play there. Oh, Zion Spartan is pushing through that top lane. I would like to say that finally Skara has a blue, so that's really important for him. He does have that tier. He has not finished a big item like Banshees yet though, or Frozen Heart, and he will need to do that really soon, because without Banshees or Frozen Heart, either Zig or Paradoxical is going to rip him to pieces in these upcoming fights. Not to mention Nintendo Dex and Zion Spartan. Oh, here's Zion Spartan coming from behind the tower. We do have Void Boy top. He's not going to be in time. This is awkward. Okay, so there's no wave at the tower, and actually Zion Spartan's getting kited pretty hard by Macutify. We'll jump to that ward and get out of there pretty quickly. Ooh, I gotta say, I love solo casts. It was a requirement for this. That is a solo cast. And I love casting with my friends, especially Chili Maniac from PSUB Esports. But casting by yourself is really fun because you just get to talk non-stop to a captive audience for like 30 or 40 minutes. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, we have the pushes going pretty strong. You have the Baron buff. You want to make use of it. So here's Monomaniac in the front doing exactly that. They're actually going to go ahead and switch with the strong wave coming in on bottom. This is basically going to be a free inner tower here for Monomaniac. And Dignitas is losing so much map control. They actually could have as easily gone top lane and taken that tower, but they're going to elect to go bottom, leaving that top lane as another free tower for later. And here's I Will Dominate. The whole team for Dignitas, they have assembled to try to defend it, but yeah, I gotta say, inner towers are so much harder to defend than these inhibitor turrets. So they were easily able to defend the middle inhibitor turret. And so Monomaniac just said, fine, we'll just get the free one out here, free one down here, gain more map control and more gold. And I would venture a guess that if I was watching spectator mode, we would probably see like, oh, 6 to 8k lead, and maybe that's underestimating it for Monomaniac over Dignitas. Actually, the tower's getting really low. Are they going to go to engage afterwards? Oh, there's the arrow going on, and they will be stunned. Vladimir all actually hitting a lot of targets. Zion Spartan out there like a sore thumb will get actually picked off. Looks like the rest of Monomaniac wants to back off. They're having trouble figuring out exactly what to do. There's the Sharania's Reverie to run away, and Paradoxical actually didn't get the movement speed. Hanging around, looks like they want to re-engage. Monomaniac, some miscommunication there. Zion Spartan was just like out there, ready to go. Oh, what? With Paradoxical, he's got the ult over the wall. The actually second proc will go off, killing I'm a Cutie Pie. He will flash away. Not sure if he needed it, but man, the ballsy as hell there. And why not get more gold when you're so far ahead? You just got 3 turrets in a row. A kill on I'm a Cutie Pie. Oh no, they want the inhibitor. They're going for blood right now. This is Monomaniac showing that they're not ready to stop yet. And Void Boy trying his best to do damage, but the MR is so good across the board, honestly, for... well, actually, I take that back. The MR is not that great, but it's good enough. And honestly, Void Boy's only sitting right now on an Amplifying Tome, a Will of the Ancients, and a Giant's Belt. So his AP is pretty dang low, especially for being at 219 minions at 27 minutes in the game. I honestly, thinking about ways that Dignitas could help pull this back, Well, they're going to need better team coordination than letting IPL die in that position, you know, across the wall there. They're going to need to really go for some picks. Abuse the fact that they saw Monomaniac not having the greatest team coordination. Like, when you see them split like that, you need to be able to abuse the fact that they're not all working together towards the same goal, that you have some miscommunication, that Lee Sin did put himself a little bit too far out. But then again, guys, it is Lee Sin the Blind Monk. And what are you going to do against Lee Sin the Blind Monk? I'm going to take a short break and, oh, crack my back here. Excellent. Oh, with the Phantom Dancer Infinity Edge now, Zig is set up to do massive damage. And I mean that in the most extreme way possible. Seriously, like, Kog'Maw scales so well with attack speed, and every hit has a great chance to critical strike. I'm sure he's running a significant amount of armor pen. I actually can't see that. I can't access that from this particular game mode, but I'm sure that armor pen will be ripping through some of the lesser armored targets on Dignitas, not to mention the fact that he's giving you percent health damage anyway, so even I Will Dominate with his massive amounts of health on Mundo is going to be feeling the heat against Zig there in the back lanes. He's got such great, oh man, the zoning is going to be so good. We got the frontliner AP, Paradoxical on that Morgana, laying down the ultimate, wading into the fight. Nintendo X and Lee Sin, and Zion Spartan feeling no fear, easily able to go in and wade into their opponents there. And Pixel with all the peeling power of, well, Janna. So Zig is going to be super safe and able to do tons of damage here coming up in a sec. Which will happen any second now. We do have Baron coming back in less than 3 minutes. We do see how the buff has faded from Monomaniac. That buff does last 4 minutes, of course, and the respawner for Baron is 7 minutes. So as soon as that drops away, you know that you have less than 3 minutes left before it will respawn. Looks like Monomaniac does want to make a play, though, before they retreat and just take the free Baron, because at this point, Dignitas will be in a very hard place to actually defend that. We see a huge wave coming in here, bot. So this is the perfect time for Monomaniac to make a play. Amakini Pump will go down, oh, to the Zion Spartan, actually, not even the ultimate from Zig. And here's Pixel popping his ult, healing up the team quite a bit. Voidboy's in there, trying to do damage. Oh, here's Donald Dominate, walking around like the Mundo that he is. He will go where he please. Oh, getting very low, though. Zig's out of mana. Looks like they're not going to want to press the advantage. But meanwhile, that's the perfect time to fight because, by the way, there's going to be a wave doing massive damage to your turret. And that's not something you want to do. And here's Voidboy being split by that wave. And here's going to be a free tower from Monomaniac Gaming. This game is going to be over in a matter of minutes. I don't even think the second Baron's going to be picked up. Oh man, Scar taking so much damage. The ultimate from Morgana will end up picking it up. Oh, a Rampage. Zion Spartan very low though. Oh, the Ignite getting close, but with no Cigar there. As Voidboy pushes back with Locust and I Will Dominate. The Ghost from Voidboy, actually, he wants blood. He's out for blood. Oh, but the brilliant snare and Pixel will flash away. There's the arrow. Oh, but a Black Shield actually would have negated that anyway. So, Monomaniac Gaming saying, hey, we got this game in the bag. Now, they could spend gold and go for this inner turret, which is practically free at this point, or the exposed upper inhibitor, or they could back and actually go for the Baron that's going to be coming up any minute now, and get it pretty easily. Considering that they don't want to throw it away, I would say that it's a good idea for them to take the Baron. Boom, there it pops just as the mid inhibitor goes down, or the mid turret goes down, despite IPL even being there. It's gonna take a wicked Baron steal for Dignitas to come back from this one, and you know what? That's not completely impossible because with only one inhibitor down, it is possible to still contest the Baron. Although notoriously having an inhibitor down is one of the big things that clues in the other team that they can more safely go for a Baron because you're forced into your base by that those super minions. Excuse me, and we have Pixel with the Oracles. Has Pixel actually died this entire game? No, Pixel has not died the entire game. The first Oracles, the only Oracles for this Janna. Some brilliant support play by MM Pixel coming out here. And that's how you want to do it. Like, you want to get that Oracles and you want to never have to rebuy it, making such good use. I'm sure the number of wards that he's been able to clear with that throughout the course of this game has been just, astronomical. Here's Locust. He has an Oracles as well. Here's Void, but mostly Scar is already back at the base. Can they really contest this? Absolutely not. I Will Dominate was there, but they decided to say, we're just going to defend it at home. This is honestly the point where Dignitas is probably thinking about the next game in the series, if there is one. Again, I think this is the first or the second game in the series. I'll say the first one, just for sake of conviction. But if this is the first game, they're already thinking about the second game at this point. They're not honestly really thinking too hard about how we're going to come back from this. Sure, if Monomaniac decides to spawn dive them and all die to the spawn turret, yeah, they'll take that and they'll go for the win. But they're not really thinking about that too much of happening. They're thinking about the next game and how they're going to make that play out. Actually, Spartan will take a lot of damage. Proc on the Maw of Malwareness. Here's Voidboy ulting out, and there's Pixel with another brilliant ult. Zig will actually get hit by that arrow. No, he was Black Shield, and actually Paradox will go way out there. Will go down before the second proc of his ult. That's really, really big. Not, it's 4-4 right now, and with the kill, Zion Spartan will pick up the kill on I Will Dominate. Locust dropping in a matter of seconds. Zig again ripping through them. Scar will actually pick up the kill on Ziggs, and that's huge. But who cares, folks, because that's an ace. 32 minutes into the game, the second turret will go down next to the Nexus, and that's game. You see the GG well played going around. Well-mannered, of course, from these guys. But Monomaniac proving to be a force. I would have loved to see this game live, but it's just, I'm even more happy, I guess you could say, to cast it for you now. Boom, victory. Oh, yeah. It feels so good. We got the double Baron buffs. That's pretty funny going off. And great. I will jump back to myself for a second here. Hey, thanks for watching. Again, this is EdwinMols. This is the game portion of my mock audition, or my real audition for the mock game for the IPL 5 Caster Search. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave comments in the YouTube video about if you liked me or if you hated me. And as always, I reserve the right to not care. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Certainly, and if you didn't watch the picks and bans, it should be in the channel just before this video, so go watch it now. Yeah, alright, well, I got to do my laundry now, so yeah, peace. See ya.